We're back with Stephen Maguire, Head of Performance and Coaching with Scottish Athletics, and we're talking today about championship opportunities for our elite athletes. Stephen, looking ahead over the next sort of 18-month period for our top athletes and our para-athletes, there's a very significant period coming up, isn't there?
Hugely significant, and there's really only one show in town. It's in Tokyo, and it's in from both the Olympics and the Paralympics. That's really where people are aiming for, and I think a lot of debate over this past week, particularly in the Olympic end of things, is the released qualification standards and how to qualify through rankings and whatever, and it's created a wee bit of a storm, and it's created a wee bit of chatter among people. But yeah, that's the biggest show in town. But there's other opportunities as well, and my advice would be for people to be nice and present, not be too anxious to be looking at you need to run X amount of time to get whatever, and is to take things nice and calm and plan the journey to Tokyo.
Well, by my reckoning, there's Doha and Dubai for Dubai for para this year, plus Tokyo the following year. But also in there's a World Indoors. There's Europeans to come up in Paris. There's a European Para Championship as well. So it's really important. How important is it that athletes grasp those opportunities?
I think there's two things. I think athletes need to be very aware of the opportunities and be very aware of the challenges and the expectation once you set yourself up to do that, and also to be very smart in how they plan it. Everybody wants to be an Olympian, but there's a pathway there as well. And what I would be encouraging people is not to be so blinkered by it's just Tokyo, or my life is devastated if I don't make it, or if I get there and it falls apart or whatever. Is that there's actually a very nice high level world class competition pathway for both Paralympic and Olympic.
So in the planning stages then, does the coach and the athletes need to sort of have movable targets in a sense?
I think it needs to be fluid, yeah. I think and again, if you look at this year, for example, we've got Doha and Dubai, and that is a big target, and it's world champion. They can become world champions. They can get a world medal. They can set themselves up for either a Paralympic competition or an Olympic Games by gearing at that. It's very late in both aspects, so I think they have to be very smart on how they do that. But they can't neglect the amount of work that they need to do as well to get there. So, you've got European level competition, so for example, you've got European team championships this year, and I'd be encouraging a lot of our athletes to be looking at that and to get into that high quality environment again. You look at Neil and you look at Gemma and people like that, Seoul for example, where can we get into that level of competition to get the experience? But yeah, they shouldn't be neglecting the other competitions and be so blinkered just that it's about the big things.
So, but over the last few years, there has been a very strong Scottish representation at a very high level. We think of Rio, we think of London 2017, we think of Berlin as well. How confident are you that level of involvement can be sustained?
Yeah, I'm very confident because of the level of athlete that we have and the level of coaching, and already the high level conversations around planning and the awareness of what needs to be done is there. I don't think we can underestimate. For example, it's one of the things that's always come back to me is there's so many good Scottish male 1500 metre runners around. Some of them's going to miss out. Yeah, some of them's going to miss out. But you know what? The people that are there will be so highly talented that they'll make finals and they'll make they'll perform to the top of their ability because that's where they're at. Very confident. I think we're. I don't like the terms we're going through a golden generation and all that, because I think every generation is very, very good and will progress, and the younger athletes will learn. The role models are now starting to emerge, and I think the future of Scottish athletics competing at global games is tremendous.
Thank you.